I'm Dean Kensley, and you are watching Bowen TV.
Hi, I'm James Glay from One Day Bowen, and we're here at Ravenhill Farm with Peter Frinton, and we're starting today a special series on Bowen TV dedicated to sustainability on the island, and we're going to start today by researching the very beginning of how we're going to get vegetables growing at our place, and we're going to start them with sheep manure provided by Peter's. How many sheep have you got?
I got 16 sheep.
16.
Got to keep sustaining them.
And yeah, so they produce a lot of poop, a lot of manure, and we're going to borrowed a neighbor's truck today. We're going to load up with sheep manure, take it back to our place, and I've already got a batch rotting away nicely out there that will be ready for the garden in a couple weeks, and then we're going to be planting in that, our vegetables, and then come August for Bow Feast, we're going to be harvesting those vegetables as well. So hopefully we'll be able to follow through the whole series. But today we're focusing on the very genesis of how growth starts and how we can use what we already have on the island in a more productive way. So come on along with us and let's get into the muck. So when we were starting our garden, we had a load of topsoil delivered from off island. It was 11 yards or 10 yards. We ended up shelling about $500 for it, and I'm thinking, God, we got to start making our own soil over here. So we've got farms like Peter's and a few others, and we've got a lot of actual good material here that we can use to make our own soil, and I think that's what we need to start doing. We don't have a lot of it naturally on the ground. Don't call us the rock for nothing. The glaciers took it all from us, I guess. So yeah, put a little effort into it, and I think it's going to be that much more rewarding than going the cheap route and trucking some soil that's coming from off island. I'd rather just work with what we've got here, and with folks like Peter around to offer up the manure that they have. That's what we're going to use. So let's see how it works out. I'm taking the first load up now. Peter, can you do something about all this mud for us?
Yeah. Just get it to stop raining.
Up to the pickup truck we go. Try this at home.
So while James is loading up the first wheelbarrow load, I'll take you down and show you our manure pile, what happens here after a year or so. So I pulled the tarp away, and you can see that this is broken down pretty nicely. In fact, it's ready now to go with a bit of, if you give it a bit of a screening, but even just breaking it up, it's ready to go right on the garden. So this is basically the result of 2 years. You can see the pile here, there's about 15 yards of it. So this is probably, well, more than what we'd put out in 2 years here. So it's a pretty hefty pile, and this will be more than enough to do our garden for this year up here.
Mmm, smells fresh. Well, this is going to be one of our last loads, and we're filling the truck up, and we're going to take it over to my place and fill up the gigantic, the mega box, and we'll have a look at how the manure I got a couple weeks back is doing. I bet it's getting nice and hot, so let's go over there and check it out. This is going to work nicely. Well, we've loaded up our sheep manure. We've got a pickup truck full, and we're ready to go back to the ranch and see what we can do with it. I'd like to thank Peter Frinton of Ravenhill Farm for generously donating all the biomass on a beautiful first full day of spring.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so thanks, Peter.
You're very welcome, and as they say, you know, shit happens all the time, so you all come back now.
All right, we will. Hi, well, we're over at the house now, and this is my, I call this a mega box, the mega compost. It's, I made it out of scraps of cedar that I had left over from a studio project, and I put it together just out of scraps of lumber. So it's 5 feet by 5 feet by 5 feet, and you need to get it big enough, about that size, to really get heat going in a compost pile. And I just want to stress, we're not putting any food out here, because that attracts rats. And in a future episode of One Day Bowen with Bowen TV, we'll be looking at how you can do that with worms. But I just want to show where we're at from the last load of manure that we got from Frinton's farm. This was about a month ago, and I'm just going to dig down a bit so we can see how it's we're doing on the turning into soil front. You got to turn the pile. I probably haven't done that enough, but ideally we'll be able to get a sense of the heat in here. Because when it's working, it's literally cooking. This is why we order a $500 load of topsoil from the mainland. But I don't know if you can see, George. If you look down in there, you can take us into poop vision. You can see the steam that's rising out of there as it's getting hot inside the pile. The pile gets really hot, cooks down, and all this volume boils down into the soil that you saw at Ravenhill Farm. So we're going to have to wait a few weeks for that to happen. But job for today is unloading the truck into here, putting some more boards on the front, bringing it up, putting a cover over it, and then putting up with the smell. It's going to stink for about 4 days. And just leave a 6-pack of microbrewed beer on your neighbor's porch and you'll probably be fine. So we've just seen what we can do with manure. Another source of great compost for the garden is, of course, vegetable trimmings from the kitchen. Like many islanders, we've stopped doing that in the garden because it's attracted rats. So next time on One Day Bowen, we're going to go and visit Jeanette Renshaw, who has a vermicomposting setup going, which is basically using worms in a box inside your house under your kitchen sink to take care of all your orange peels and all the usual stuff that makes a really great rich soil in your garden. So we're going to learn how that's done, and in the meantime I've got some work ahead of me getting my garden beds ready to take our seeds. We've got a good mix in here. We've got some rabbit poop. Our rabbit sparkle bee's been working hard all winter, so we're turning that in as well into the mix. We've got some seaweed in here pulled off the beach, and I think we're going to have a terrific harvest this year. Just use your imagination, and this is going to be full of wonderful vegetables. So until next time, I'm James Glaive for One Day Bowen on Bowen TV.